Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so sorry. I'm running a little bit late. I was just getting ready. So I'm going to take a minute to say hello to everyone. Hi, Lola. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Jen, Jennifer, Karen, Ronald, Anna. Hi, Chicken Lady. Okay, let's see. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Connie. Hi, Gail. Hi, John. I think I caught everybody. Hi, Bonnie. Okay. Well, I hope some more people get a chance to join us. I know I'm a little late, and I hope they didn't think they missed it. So, okay. Hi, Leslie, Cheryl, Mary, and Sonia. All right. So while we're waiting for some people to come in, I'm going to talk about narcissistic smear campaigns. And so while I'm doing that, I'm not going to be reading chat, but afterwards, I'm going to answer your questions. And your questions can be about any topic. And if you have a question, just write the word question in chat before the question so I can pick it out more easily. Hi, Pam, new member. Thank you. And thank you, everyone who have become members. I really, really appreciate it. It's wonderful. I'm so happy to have so many wonderful subscribers. So in today's video, we are going to discuss the psychology behind a narcissistic smear campaign. And while we're discussing this, I want you to apply what we discussed to the Watts case and the smear campaign that has been launched against Shanann by Chris and his family and his flying monkeys, who have continued their smear campaign to this day. Now, if you've ever become entangled by a narcissist, you probably know how difficult it is to break free of the narcissist. But what most people don't realize is that once you break free, the narcissist is going to launch a smear campaign against you. They will villainize their victim at every opportunity to everyone who will listen. They'll smear you to your friends, to your family, to your employer, to your coworkers, to your neighbors, and they will accuse you of all types of things in order to make themselves look like the victim rather than the hateful inhumans that they are, that they truly are. So why do narcissists run smear campaigns? Well, the first reason is because the narcissist wants to protect their image and they want to remain in control. They care a great deal about what people think of them, and they have a deep need to be in control. And we saw this in Chris Watts, his desperate need for people to like him and to maintain his image. And we're also seeing that in his family's attempts since the murders to paint the picture that A, they didn't raise a monster, and B, that he isn't a monster. Now, when a person finally sees the narcissist's true colors, that they see behind the mask, and they let the narcissist know that they want to distance themselves or leave the relationship. The narcissist will do everything in their power to prevent the person from telling the truth about the true behaviors of the narcissist. And the narcissist will do everything that they can to prevent any damage to their public image. The narcissist launches the smear campaign in an attempt to undermine the victim's credibility. And they want to make sure that no one will believe what the victim might have to say about the narcissist. Another reason why a narcissist will launch a smear campaign is that they have more than likely sustained a narcissistic wound. When a person tries to end a relationship with a narcissist or distance themselves, it triggers the narcissist's feelings of self-hatred. And so, because of that, they suffer a narcissistic wound. And when a person hurts a narcissist, the narcissist will want to take revenge and hurt the person too. So another reason to consider is that narcissists always have to win, and they always have to be right. And they expect everyone around them to accept their distorted version of the truth. And since the narcissist doesn't have any empathy and they don't have any feelings of responsibility for their behaviors, they have absolutely no problem spinning a web of lies about their victim. So a narcissist can run their smear campaign alone by themselves, or they can use their flying monkeys so that the narcissist themselves doesn't get their hands dirty. And we see this in the Watts case, as I said. Chris Watts began his smear campaign against Shanann, in my opinion, before the murders. During the devaluation stage of the relationship prior to the discard. And he's continued his smear campaign by proxy, by using his family and his flying monkeys and his misguided admirers to continue their smear campaign against Shanann. Now, there are reasons why a person should fear a narcissist smear campaign. And the first reason is that the smear campaign that a narcissist launches can be very convincing. They typically launch their campaign very quickly, and their victim is typically totally unaware that the campaign has begun. Narcissists are very good at portraying something as truth when it really is a lie. The narcissist will speak with a lot of confidence, and people typically don't challenge what they have to say. And it can be particularly convincing because throughout your relationship with the narcissist, you probably kept quiet about any of the problems that you were having with the narcissist. And so because of that, no one really would see the smear campaign coming at them because they had no idea there were any problems. Narcissists will take a small kernel of truth and apply it out of context, and they will exaggerate and magnify. Those are the tools they use to create the smear campaign. For instance, maybe you're the type of person who tends to be a little bit on the emotional side. Well, the narcissist will take that little kernel of truth and paint the picture that you are unstable, you're unhinged. And if the narcissist target was in a romantic relationship with the narcissist, they'll even accuse the partner, their target, of abandoning the relationship. The narcissist will likely go on and on about how much they loved the target or the partner, and how much they tried to help the partner. And they will indeed paint their partner, the target, as the evil one. They'll say that they just left the relationship for absolutely no reason, and they are the victim, and they have been hurt by you. Remember, narcissists are expert manipulators, and they'll attempt to convince everyone that they are the victim and you are the evil one. The next thing that I want you to remember is that the narcissist uses their facade of respectability that they create. It's their mask that they wear in front of the world that they use to prove that they are not the problem, that you are. And most people really only see the facade. They only see the mask. They see the good guy, the helpful neighbor, the good employee, the good friend. And because of this, their false persona plays a major role in the smear campaign being effective. Narcissists will also smear you by using implications. They may say something like, I don't want to say anything and I don't want to be mean, but so-and-so has me a little worried. What they're doing is they're implying that no matter how hard they've tried to help their target, that the target is just beyond help. And what the narcissist is trying to do is to get people to judge their target based on the narcissist's lies. They're implicating certain things and they're expecting the people to believe them. So it's important not to get trapped into reacting with strong emotion when you find out that you are the target of a narcissistic smear campaign. It's important to remain calm and react in a calm manner and present your side of things rationally, instead of reacting with anger and a lot of emotion, because if you do, it will not be effective. The narcissist wants their target to appear to defend themselves and look like they are unstable. And the narcissist actually gets narcissistic supply from knowing that they have upset you. And they like knowing that they still have power to affect your life and to take up space in your head. So remember, don't feed the narcissist with any kind of strong emotion. These types of smear campaigns will likely leave a person exhausted. Dealing with narcissists is an exhausting experience. They'll use they have a lot of tactics that they use. One of them is gaslighting, and it leaves you feeling it's hard to think clearly when you're being gaslighted, and you'll become anxious and hypervigilant. Um, the narcissist's goal is to leave their target unable to cope with the narcissistic smear campaign. And they want to alienate you from any support system that you have, whether it's friends or family or neighbors. And that leads into the fact that most people do not like conflict. So when a person is presented with these lies, the smear campaign, when the narcissist shares that with people, it makes those people uncomfortable because the narcissist is putting them in the position where they have to judge the victim based on what the narcissist is telling them. And if they don't, then they are labeled as the problem or the troublemaker. So because of this, the person feels like they have to pick sides, and they'll ultimately avoid contact with the narcissist victim, which leaves the victims feeling very isolated with no support, no emotional support, no one to talk to about this because everyone's gone. The narcissist has chased everyone away based on their lies. So it's important to remember that the narcissist smear campaign is relentless. No one holds a grudge the way a narcissist does, and they'll carry this smear campaign to the grave. Trust me, they'll not let it go. So what can you do when you're a target? Well, the first thing to remember is don't engage. Don't let the narcissist provoke you. And I understand it's hard not to defend yourself when someone is making false allegations about you. But you must remain calm. You must maintain your integrity, because if you don't and you rage against the narcissist or try to smear the narcissist or threaten legal action against the narcissist, they will seek revenge and they will escalate their smear campaign. So if you react in any emotional manner, they'll use that against you. And they'll tell people that you're out of control, that you're unstable, you're unmanageable, you are the problem. So remember, any reaction or attention that you give the narcissist or their flying monkeys is a source of narcissistic supply. And if they see that you're upset by the smear campaign or by anything that they're doing, it feeds their narcissistic supply, feeds their ego. Now, this is important. You need to focus on behaviors that you can prove. If what the narcissist says leads to some type of sanction, there's Loki. If he doesn't stop, I'll put him out in the sunroom. Okay, Loki, shush, shush, come sit with me. Come here. Sorry. I'm sure all of you have heard Loki before in my videos. Okay, Loki. Shh. All right. So if what the narcissist is saying leads to some sort of sanctions, like you lose custody of your children, it's important. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry. Come here, Loki. Okay. I am so sorry. Is everyone still there? Let me check. You guys all there? Okay, I put the cat out. Okay. So, if there's some kind of sanction because of what the narcissist is telling people, it's important to be able to prove their behavior. Don't focus on how horrible their behavior is, and don't focus on the fact that they're pathological liars. It's not going to help you. You need to use concrete evidence of their behavior. And the reason you have to do that is because emotional and psychological abuse is very hard to see. And you can't expect people to be able to see things the way you do, through your eyes, because they're not experiencing the emotional abuse and psychological abuse that you are having to endure at the hands of this narcissist. So don't try to get revenge against the narcissist. And I know it's normal to want to use the same tactics that the narcissist is using against you. It's normal to want to behave that way towards the narcissist, but that's not going to work out very well for you if you do that. Because even though you may wound a narcissist by the accusations that you make, in the end, you're going to be caught up in a vicious cycle of abuse that you can't get out of. So don't forget that the narcissist has been playing this game for a very long time, and they are very good at it. Don't try to persuade other people. People are going to believe what they want to believe. And if you think that the narcissist is spreading lies about you, you can explain yourself if you like. And if you do, only do it once. But understand that you really can't change other people's minds about you. What other people think of you doesn't define you. And remember, just because someone says something about you doesn't make it true. And the next thing I want you to do is be prepared for projection. The narcissist is going to project the things that they are doing onto you and tell people that you are doing those things to them. And don't be fooled. No matter how outrageous or unbelievable you think the narcissist's lies are, there are going to be some people who believe them. And they'll actually believe that you are the abuser and the narcissist is the victim. So keep in mind, if other people want to jump on the narcissist hate bandwagon, then you need to walk away from those people because you deserve to be respected. There will be people, so don't worry, there will be people who won't believe the narcissist. They'll see right through their lies. And hopefully those people can provide you with some level of support. And I want you to remember that no matter how difficult it is, if you're experiencing a narcissistic smear campaign, be grateful that you're finally away from the narcissist, that you finally saw them for who they really are. Their behavior is intentionally malicious, and their intention is to harm you. Don't forget that. They want to harm you. And remember that a smear campaign can affect your relationships, your family, your job, your income, your neighbor, your situation with your neighbors. And it also affects your mental health. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you are the victim of a smear campaign. Find people who are still supportive and the people that the narcissist has not been able to poison against you. So now I'm going to go back to chat and I'm going to look for questions. And if you have any, please, it can be any topic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about this. Just put the word question in the chat and I'll try to answer it. Okay. So I'm going to scroll up. Give me a second. Okay. I think I'm at the top, I hope. All right. Katerina says, needed to walk away and never look back. That is so true. If you have a narcissist in your world, you need to get rid of them. You need to go no contact and get away. Hello, Salsa Shakers in Scotland. I see your little note there. Okay, CJ Tia says, how do you break free from a narcissist? Like I said earlier, it's very hard to break free of a narcissist because as far as the narcissist is concerned, the relationship is never over. You may walk away from the narcissist and you may go no contact and have absolutely no communication whatsoever. But the narcissist, they store all of their previous sources of narcissistic supply. They store them in sort of like a garage, if you can picture that. So here you are, you're the ex-friend, ex-neighbor, ex-whatever, ex-significant other. And here you are in the narcissist garage. And when they run low on narcissistic supply, they open the garage door and they pull you out and they hoover you. They try to make contact and get supply from you, narcissistic supply. So the only way to deal with a narcissist is to go no contact. Don't respond at all. Don't answer the door. Don't answer the text. Block their number. Don't read their emails. And go no contact. If you are living with a narcissist, say it's your husband or your significant other, and they are making your life a living hell, and they will, you have got to make an escape plan to get away from them. Don't count on them leaving. You're going to have to you're going to have to be the one that walks away. The narcissist will never walk away. And if they do, they're not done with you. They will seek their revenge. And it can go on for a very long time if you don't have firm boundaries and you don't go no contact. Narcissists will damage or attempt to damage every area of your life. And so it's important the most important thing is to really wrap your head around what you're dealing with. You are dealing with a person who cares nothing about the damage that they leave in their wake. And so it's up to you to try to minimize and mitigate the damage. The wreckage is really what I call it. Narcissists leave wreckage. So I hope that helps you in some way. Okay. Oh, see, Anna says it took her 8 years to get away from her narcissist. Oh, Anna, I'm so sorry. That's so hard. And yeah, it's entanglement, really. It's really, you feel tangled up with them and it's hard to extract yourself. Okay. Oh, Connie says that the narcissist in her world recently died and the flying monkeys are still carrying on. And we're seeing that, like I said, we're seeing that in the Watts case. The poor Shanann, she's gone. He annihilated his whole family, and the remaining family continues to spew the most hateful things about Shanann. It's just horrible. Okay, let me scroll some more. Oh, I like this one, Al. You're right. The narcissists, they are so entitled. Just like Watts, he felt entitled, literally entitled, to be the judge, jury, and executioner of his family. It is the epitome of entitlement. It's a very good comment, Al. Let's see. Yeah. Kathy says, don't engage at all. Yeah. Don't let them provoke you. Don't let them reel you back in, because it will only end badly for you, not the narcissist. Everybody's saying hi to Loki. I would love him to make a cameo appearance, but he can't do it without talking. And I know it's loud. He's loud. And Thor's asleep under my chair. I hope you all enjoyed the pictures I posted on my community tab so you could really get a good look at them. Oh, Diggler, yeah. Diggler wants to see Loki's eyes. He has the most beautiful blue eyes. I swear, Loki has radar. He knows when I'm on live. It's incredible. He was quiet all day until now. Okay, I like this, Rachel. Very good. How do you even know if you're talking to a narcissist? I've touched on this before, but typically, one of the first things that you'll notice if you're engaging with a narcissist is that the topic of conversation will always revolve around them. You may be sharing the most upsetting experience. Say you just lost your grandmother and you're talking to this person that you don't know is a narcissist, and you start to say how much you loved your grandmother and how sorry you are that she passed and how sad you are. The narcissist will listen to you for a few seconds, and then the conversation will shift back to them. That's one of the biggest red flags. Another red flag is that all narcissists, when they're trying to reel you in, they will love bomb you. We call it love bombing. And they will appear very attentive. And oh my goodness, they're the best listener and they're the most helpful. And just like Chris Watts did with Shanann. She was vulnerable when she met him, and he was so helpful and went to her colonoscopy and helped her separate her medications by the days of the week. That was all love bombing to reel her in. So if someone is overly helpful in the beginning of a relationship and is telling you is getting serious too soon, then you are likely dealing with a narcissist who's trying to reel you in. And once they do reel you in, all of that effort goes away. They're no longer attentive. They don't listen to you anymore. It's all about them. And God forbid you get sick or you are upset. That will irritate the heck out of a narcissist because they want the focus to be 100% on them 24/7. And how dare you cry? And how dare you get sick? So those kind of red flags you should definitely look out for and really evaluate who you're talking to, who you're dealing with. And if you see any of those signs, run, because when someone shows you who they are, you need to believe them. Okay? Okay, let's see if you're all still here. Thank goodness. Jan says her narcissist lied and stole and tried to cheat on her. I'm glad you're done with that, Jan. Yeah. Yeah, once they start that type of behavior, you're moving into the devaluation stage and you don't even know it. And that's usually before they're going to discard you. But they never fully do. They'll pull you out of that garage if they run out of supply from someone else. Okay. Yes, Katerina says it's really hard if you're married because, oops, sorry. Yeah, it's easier to walk away from a toxic friend than it is to walk away from a marriage. You are correct. But you can do it. People do it every day. And even, if you need to talk to a therapist to get you through it, do that. Because nothing is worse, no matter how difficult it is to extract yourself from a narcissist, trust me, it's easier than living the next decade with the narcissist, or 2 decades, et cetera, et cetera. So it's worth it. It might be painful in the beginning when you extract yourself, but it will be worth it in the long run because you will get them out of your life. Okay. So many people are affected by narcissists. It's really important that you understand what you're dealing with. It will help you. Yes, I'm not sure how you say that. Mystery Q? Mystery. Yes, the Watts cases is an example of how dangerous it can be when you're dealing with people like this. Narcissists are dangerous. And, it runs on a spectrum. They can be dangerous just by the lies that they spread, or it can go all the way to murder, like in the Watts case. So as soon as you see any kind of toxic behavior in the person that you're dealing with, regardless of what type of relationship it is, you need to distance yourself. Irvin asked a question. Oh, I missed it. Let me scroll back up. Go a little slower. Oh, here. Irvin says, is there such a thing as a covert narcissism spectrum? And what do I do if you feel that you are? Yeah, okay. Irvin, narcissism is on a spectrum, and from lesser to greater. Lesser to malignant, let's say. And so covert narcissism is on the lesser end of the scale, while overt narcissism is on the higher end of the scale. And if you feel like you fall on the narcissistic scale, now, first, let me clarify, we all fall on the narcissistic scale because it's healthy to have some narcissistic traits. It helps in the normal range. It's good. It's good self-esteem. It's a good ego. You want to have that. So most people will fall on the very extreme lesser end of the narcissistic spectrum. And if you feel like you have some tendencies that fall in that lesser end or the covert end of the scale, having insight into that, you can correct some of the behaviors that you don't like about yourself. And usually you can do that through therapy, or you can do it by, self-help. Go get some self-help books and work on yourself and read the self-help books. And they're really very good, and you could change some of the traits that you don't like about yourself. Now, malignant narcissists, there is no cure, really. There's no medicine. Malignant narcissists, or the people on the higher end of the scale, they don't think there's anything wrong with them, and they won't look for help. They won't go to a therapist. In fact, I've done many. I do family therapy. I do marriage and family therapy. I treat children all the way up to adults. And I can tell you, when a patient comes in with their narcissistic family member, the narcissistic family member will attempt to present themselves as the good person, the good guy, the one that's not toxic. And as soon as I confront the narcissistic behavior or their facade, and I peek behind the mask, most narcissists will storm out of the session because they psychologically cannot tolerate anyone seeing behind the mask, peeking behind the mask, because it triggers their self-loathing, their own self-hatred, and they cannot tolerate that psychologically. It's a good thing for the other person in the therapy session who has brought their narcissist in, because they're validated, because someone else sees the narcissist for who they are. And I can typically help that family member develop coping skills to deal with the narcissist, or I help them navigate getting rid of the narcissist, and everything psychologically that goes along with that. Let me see. Jan has a question. Isn't it also true that they're not introspective? Yes, Jan, they're not introspective. They don't think they need to improve themselves. They don't look inside. They're not insightful. They're really not. It's all about getting their fuel. It's all about narcissistic supply. And everything that they do, every person that they encounter, is all about capitalizing on the relationships so that they can get the fuel that they need. And it's really pathetic if you think about it, because they're terrified to be alone with their true self. That's why they have a mask. That's why the mask develops, to protect themselves psychologically from their true self. Let me make sure I didn't. Here's another question. Anne says, are narcissists only dangerous if it is mixed with psychopathy? That's a good question. Yes. Most psychopaths are narcissists. So yes, it's more dangerous. But there are a lot of psychopaths that are not dangerous. There are among us in the world. A lot of them are very successful. They're the CEOs. They're the people in charge. So there are some psychopathic traits that aren't murderous. But a narcissist who is also a psychopath is not someone that you want to keep in your in your world. That, you know, if it's a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, distance yourself if possible, because you will be damaged. And I've said this before about Chris Watts. All of these people, these misguided admirers, they don't understand that they are dealing with a very toxic individual who is solely interacting with them because it benefits them. And if you think for a minute that you're benefiting from your relationship with Chris Watts, you are sorely mistaken, because eventually you will be damaged. You will be discarded. Your job may be affected. Your finances may be affected. In some manner, eventually you will be damaged. And so my advice is to stay away. Do whatever you can and not engage in relationships, even in a pen pal relationship with a prisoner. And I'm going to be doing, my next video is going to be on exactly that. It's going to be on hybistrophilia, which is people who get into relationships with dangerous incarcerated men like Chris Watts. Okay. I'm scrolling back down to see if I have any other questions, or I may have missed. If I missed your question, please post it again. Oh, that's okay, Irvin. You ask as many questions as you like, and you can always email me. My email is coronercorner@gmail.com, and I will answer you. I think I got to the bottom of the scrolling. I'm going to scroll back up, make sure I didn't miss anybody before we go. Shannon says, why would anyone want to speak with someone like Chris Watts? That's why I'm going to do that next video. I'm going to do it next weekend, I think. And I think I'll do it on Sunday. In fact, if you guys could put in the comments, not right now, but later, and let me know what day of the week works better for you, Saturday or Sunday, and what time of the day would you like me to do the live broadcasts. That would help me so that I can reach as many people as I can. I'm just kind of winging it since this is only my second one. And I was trying to pick a time when some of the big YouTubers aren't doing lives, because I don't want to take away from their audience either. So just let me know what works best for you, and I'll try to do that. Or I'll try to rotate the times so we can catch everyone. And I'm just checking if I didn't miss anybody. Okay. Mystery says, why do narcissists adamantly insist that they're not narcissists? The answer's kind of funny. It's because they're narcissists. That's why. They can't tolerate anything that paints them as less than perfect. And you know, speaking of that, that played into the relationship between Chris Watts and the mistress. I think he worked very hard to paint himself in the best light possible for her. And tragically, in the end, it included murdering his entire family. So, Rivka, if that's how you pronounce, not sure, but she says, is it inherited? Narcissists are created in childhood. And typically it is because they have a narcissistic parent. Now, psychopathy is inherited. Sociopathy is not. Sociopathy is created by abusive childhood environments. Narcissism develops typically because one of the parents is a narcissist. And because of that, the narcissistic parent doesn't validate the child's emotions. And the child learns to cut those emotions off. And they learn at a very early age that they have to be a certain way in order to gain any type of attention from the parent. And typically they become this very obedient, good, quote, good child. And because if they're anything less than that, the parent does not support them at all, emotionally or in any other way. There's no nurturing. And we see that in Cindy Watts's first interview that she did after the murders, because if you listen, she paints him as the perfect teenager. Remember, those were her words. Oh, he was the perfect teenager. Well, of course he was, because he was wearing a mask that developed early on in his childhood because his feelings were probably not validated. And the fact that they are so adamant now to be supportive of him when they wouldn't even go to his wedding, when they weren't supporting him when he was not in prison, is very indicative of the dynamic that had been going on in that family for a very long time, in my opinion. Irvin wants to know, therapist or psychiatrist? The difference is it would be a therapist, in my opinion, that would help. Psychiatrists are good. They prescribe medication for mental health issues, but there is no medication for narcissism. So a therapist could help you work through whatever it is that you would like to change about yourself or about your situation. Talk therapy is good for that. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's any of us that haven't encountered a narcissist. And we've probably all encountered them in different ways, different levels of entanglement, from just casual all the way to being married to one for decades, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to scroll back down to make sure I didn't miss any new comments. Oh, Rivka has a question. She says, really exposing myself here, but I tend to pick at your face when you worry, when you're upset. Okay. No, I don't think it's self-hatred, hon. It's anxiety. It's a soothing, it's a self-soothing behavior. That's how I would interpret it. Okay. Oops. John says, have I ever seen consistent changes when narcissists are treated? Narcissists don't fare very well in treatment unless they really want, well, two things. Unless they have to have insight into the fact that there is a problem in the way they are relating in their life with other people. And if they do see that as a problem, and they're willing, yes, they can change, and the change will be somewhat consistent. But that's mostly people on the lesser end of the scale. Like I said earlier, malignant narcissists don't even think they need help. So there wouldn't be any success there at all. Laura says, do I think NC was the first time Chris dropped his mask with Shanann? In such an obvious way, yes, I do. And the reason I think that is because narcissists will not discard their primary fuel supply until they have found a replacement. And because he had, he dropped the mask. Were there times in their relationship where he might have shown glimpses of him not being the false persona that he presented himself to be? I'm sure there were, but nothing like what happened during the time she was in North Carolina, and how quickly he devalued her and then ultimately discarded her. Oops. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Jan says, what is a good way to get rid of the anger after being abused by a narcissist? If you don't have someone to talk it over with, like say you don't have a therapist or a good friend that you can share, talking. You want to talk about all of the nasty, hateful things that the narcissist did to you. There is an exercise I do with some of my patients. It's called the empty chair, and they can do this alone in their home, and they'll sit across from an empty chair, and they will spew all of their feelings onto whoever they're picturing sitting in that empty chair. And that way they can release all of that negative energy that's stored up in their bodies, because that's what happens. We store all of this stuff inside ourselves, and it comes out sideways. It comes out as anxiety. It comes out as depression. It comes out as insomnia. So if you could do that and sit across from an empty chair, if you don't have a therapist to talk to, and you just let that person have it. You just tell them off. You'll be surprised how good that feels. Some people like to journal. There are lots of different things you can try, but anger is toxic, and we don't want to hold on to that. And we tend to hold on to anger for the narcissist or towards the narcissist because their behavior has been so outrageous and so hurtful for such a long time. And it's hard to let that go. But you must do that for yourself, because it will free up such a big space in your head and in your heart. And you have to let go of it so that you're emotionally available for the other people in your life. You can't let anger take up space. So do whatever you can to get rid of it. And try that. Try the empty chair. It really does help. Connie says, books for helping with dealing with grief when the narcissists aren't dead, I think you mean. That's a very good very good comment. Whenever we have had a significant relationship and then we don't have that relationship anymore, even though the person's not dead, we grieve the relationship. And in particular with narcissists, because in the beginning of the relationship, when the narcissist is love bombing you and reeling you in, that is the relationship that we grieve, because we're grieving the relationship we thought we were going to have, the love bombing that they did, that in the beginning, we kind of stick to that. And even though over time, months, years, decades, we never saw that love bombing again, when we finally get rid of the narcissist, we grieve the relationship we thought we were going to have, because they do a lot of future faking in the beginning. They paint this wonderful picture of the wonderful life you're going to have together. And you buy into that and you jump right in with both feet because you have found your person. They're wonderful. And then they're not. You see? Okay. I'm scrolling just to make sure I haven't missed anyone's question. I don't want to miss anybody's question. And if I do, please put it in the comments later and I will answer it, because I read all the comments and I try to respond to everyone. Okay. Laura says, did Chris enjoy the couple of weeks of his mask down with Shanann? Absolutely. He finally could begin to exact his revenge on her. And then, of course, the ultimate revenge was to annihilate everyone. But yes, he enjoyed not having to be that fake person, the fake husband and father that he had, that role he had played for so many years. He thoroughly enjoyed throwing that out the window. Yes. Angel says that she thinks that's why she has an insomnia. Yeah. It will interrupt your sleep. You need to get rid of the anger and the toxic feelings that you might be harboring towards the narcissist, because the really sad thing of it is that even if you tell the narcissist exactly what a horrible person they are, it doesn't even make a dent. They don't care. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care that they hurt you. They don't care. In fact, while you're telling them off, they are getting narcissistic supply, because in their sick mind, they're thinking, look how powerful I am, that I can make this person so angry, or I can make her cry, or whatever. That's how they interpret interactions. So don't waste your breath on trying to explain anything to the narcissist. You've probably already spent so many wasted conversations trying to explain to the narcissist how you feel. Don't waste your time. They don't care. They'll never understand how you feel because they have no feelings. Emerald had a question. Okay, let me find it, Carla. Before that, I see Spirit Catcher has, why do some people attract narcissistic relationships? That is an excellent question. And it's not so much that the person attracts the narcissistic relationship, it's that the narcissist is always on the hunt for vulnerable or empathic. Empaths and narcissists end up together a lot because narcissists it's like they have empath radar. They'll hone in on an empath and they will suck that person in. So if you find yourself or someone you know that continues to have narcissists show up in their relationships, it's more than likely because they have what the narcissist needs and wants. They have the qualities. And that's obvious in Chris and Shanann's relationship. Shanann had a huge heart and she was loving and all these things that he wasn't. And she fed his narcissistic, she provided him with a huge amount of fuel until he met the mistress who took it to another level. So Carla's telling me to look at Emerald's question. So I'm going to try to find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so evidently Emerald's been dealing with a very toxic person. He still tried to contact her after the police told him to leave her alone. Emerald, how dangerous is this person? If you had to call the police, I would suspect that they're pretty toxic. Oh, Pam wants to know my email. It's coronercorner, all one word, @gmail.com. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Shannon's talking to Emerald, saying she hopes you have a restraining order. So I'm still looking for your question, Emerald. I'm sorry. Oh, good. Anna put my email in the chat. I'm still looking for Emerald's question. Oh, I found it. Okay, what do I do if I run into someone while out who I've issued a no contact text? He threatened me and I heard he's gone to places where I was expected. Oh, so you have a stalker, right? Sounds like it. Sounds like a stalker. Someone you just can't seem to get rid of. If this person is a narcissist, narcissists don't respect boundaries. They don't respect restraining orders either. So my suggestion would be change your patterns. Don't be predictable. And like I said earlier, when in my dialogue before I came into chat, you have to collect proof of this person's behavior. So be very diligent in documenting everything that you see and hear or what people are telling you about this person. And that will help you to be able to prove what he's doing, if it's a he. But change your patterns so that he can't easily find you or find out where you're going, and make sure you have also tell your friends and your family, tell your employer, tell everyone about this person, and in a calm, rational way, so that they understand that this is happening. And don't hesitate to call the police as many times as you have to document what's going on. And hopefully, over time, you'll be able to get rid of this person, or he'll move on to someone else, more than likely. Okay. I'm just checking one more time, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Connie, did I not see your question? I see you saying you can't decide if I'm not seeing it. I hope I saw it. Okay. Huh. Oops. This one. Anne says, was NK an empath? No. No. She was very immature. She was very selfish, in my opinion, very desperate for male attention. All about her. I didn't see any empathy displayed in any of her interviews. Never once did she appear to be bothered by the fact that there were, 4 people who had been annihilated, 3 of which were children, or 2 children and a fetus, and his wife. And that little snippet where she was crying, that they were so little, completely fake. It was just a manipulation, in my opinion. So no, I don't see any empathy in her whatsoever. Connie, I found it. Oh, I hope this is the one. How do you cope with your narcissistic mother's passing? One of the things that I suggest, Connie, is to understand that she was flawed, that she was human, and that there's a reason that she grew up to be a narcissist. Narcissists are very damaged people. Behind that mask was probably a very unhappy, miserable little girl. So try to forgive. And I know that's hard because narcissists can be so hateful. But try to understand that she was flawed and she became a narcissist for a reason. And forgive her if you can find it in your heart. Forgive her for the damage that she caused you. Sometimes it's good to write it all down and then have sort of a little ritual, either burn the piece of paper or throw it in the ocean or tear it up, whatever you can do to get it out of you, to let go of it. And just know that she was damaged. She was damaged, and she damaged probably everyone around her. That's what hurt people do. They hurt other people. Carrie says her mother is a narcissist, not spoken in 11 years. Oh my God, no, Carrie, that makes you a strong person. That makes you someone with boundaries, someone that realized that even though the person is a blood relative and a parent, that you needed to separate yourself from that toxic person. And I applaud you for doing that. A lot of people can't do that. They feel guilty. They feel obligated to continue to have that narcissist in their life. And no, you're not a bad person. You're a strong person who did what they had to do to protect yourself, and I'm sure your other family members that are in your life, whether they're your children or siblings, whatever. Um, you're not a bad person. I wish more people could walk away from their narcissists. Oh, Karen says that her mom was a narcissist and it took a long time, but she did forgive her and heal. Okay. Is there anyone else that I haven't answered your question, or I'll give you a minute to think about it while I remind you that next weekend we're going to do our live is going to be about people who are fans of these criminals that are attracted to infamous murderers, rapists, etc. We'll talk about the what it's called, hybistrophilia, and also, if you could let me know whether Saturday or Sunday is better for you for the lives, and what time do you prefer. And I'll try to accommodate everyone so that I can be there for you when you are available to watch the lives. And if I have to kind of rotate for different times, I can do that as well to try to get everyone's schedule. So that's what we'll do. You can leave it in the comments. You don't have to put it in chat if you don't want to. I might even put up a poll. I don't know. We'll see. But if that helps, maybe we'll do that. And, oh, Gail has a question. Do narcissists have a tendency to control finances as well? Well, that would depend on where they're falling on the scale, how malignant their narcissism is. Covert narcissists like Chris Watts relinquish control in a way that it appeared as if he was relinquishing control to Shanann, but in my opinion, it was intentional. He didn't leave her with any other role to play because he did not take control of things, and that was intentional, and that put her in the role of having to be responsible for a lot of things. Malignant narcissists are very controlling, and they would control the finances to the extent of even hiding money from their partners, so that when they discard their partner, they ruin them financially. That would be their goal. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way for the narcissist because let's say the divorce lawyers work things out so that it's more fair. But trust me, a malignant narcissist will attempt to take complete control over the finances. And if they could leave their partner who they discard with zero money, they would. Okay. Oops. Yes, Blessed has a question that I missed. So I'm going to scroll up if everyone would be patient for a second while I try to find that. I'm still looking. If anyone sees Blessed's question, oh, yeah, found it. Okay. Were there things or ways that Shanann overlooked the signs and the signals in Chris Watts while dating? If so, what were some of those? I don't think there were any signs during dating. I think that he was love bombing her. He saw that she was vulnerable because of her medical issues. And so he love bombed her in the beginning to reel her in. She was way out of his league, and he knew it. Now, during the course of the relationship, she may have overlooked any kind of signs or signals because, like most people who are love bombed by a narcissist, they tend to focus on that idealization stage of their relationship and they overlook the slow deterioration, the way that the relationship starts to erode over time because the narcissist puts less and less effort into the relationship. I think that at the end, she saw a lot of signs while he was engaged in that affair while she was in North Carolina. But I don't think in the beginning she saw anything that would have made her concerned. So, okay. Oh, I just missed a clarifying question. Oh, darn. I scrolled past it too quickly and now I don't see it. Okay. Trixie has a question. Oh, Trixie was posting Blessed. Thank you, Trixie, for trying to get that question to me for Blessed. Oops. Okay. Okay. Oh, Welsh Pam has a question. I like that you put the flowers. That was good, easy for me to see. If narcissists are manipulative, why did Chris decide to get into a relationship with NK? Because she appeared to be highly manipulative. Yes, she was. I think that he was comfortable in the role that he had played his whole life, which was to be at first the good child, the obedient child, and then into adulthood, the good husband, the good father. And I think that he was comfortable being that. And so when NK entered the picture and he sensed that she had more of a controlling personality, he allowed the control. He allowed her to do that. And she used her body and intimate experiences to control him and keep him involved with her. And so I think he also enjoyed a lot of the new things that he was experiencing with her. Okay. Okay. I hope I was able to answer everyone's questions. And if not, I apologize. I tried to look for them. In fact, if you were on this side of my monitor, you'd be laughing because I made the chat text really big. So today, it means a lot to me. If you joined my channel, I thank you very much for doing that. I now have memberships. If you would like to join, if you like my work, I would love to have you join. I will see you all next weekend, and just let me know what time works best for all of you, and I will try to do that. So thank you, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Love and light. Bye-bye.